Welcome to day 2 of my 28-day grammar challenge. If you have not already, please go to my website at englishbetweenthelines.com/challenge to download your free guide to this challenge. That guide is going to help you throughout the month by providing you lots of notes about everything I'm talking about here, and also provide you extra information, extra resources, a lot of great stuff so you can continue learning. Today is day 2, and we're talking about the present progressive tense, also known as the present continuous tense. Let's talk about the purpose of this tense. The present progressive tense is the tense of temporary things in the present. So this is much different than the simple present tense, which is a tense of permanence. Present progressive tense is a tense of temporary things, things that do not last very long. So let's look at the uses. Use number 1. We use the present progressive tense to talk about things that are happening right now. In fact, I just used the tense to say are happening. For example, I am recording a video. I am right now recording a video. That is something that will not last forever. It is temporary. So here's another example. I am not eating a banana. I'm saying that right now, I am not eating a banana. Use number 2. We use it to talk about things that maybe are not happening at this very moment, but are generally happening and that we consider to be temporary. So again, the key word here is temporary. Here's an example. I am staying at a hotel. I am not going to be living at the hotel, right? I don't live at the hotel. It's not something that's permanent. So I could say I am staying at the hotel. I could also say I am living in the United States if what I want to communicate is that I may not be living here for very long. Today, I would also like to talk about stative versus action verbs because it's very important for these two tenses. A stative verb is a verb that is not active. It's a non-action verb. And the reason why it's important is that stative verbs cannot be used in the present progressive tense. So these are verbs like need, understand, want, love. Those verbs do not have action. They're more theoretical. However, there are some verbs that can be both, that can be a stative verb and an action verb. So these are verbs like hear, taste, think. All of these verbs have different meanings or implications depending on which tense you're using. And sometimes the present progressive is appropriate. For example, to think is a stative verb. However, I can also use it in a present progressive sense. So here's what I mean. If I am saying I think something, as in I believe something, or it is my opinion that, in that case, to think is a stative verb. It doesn't have action. However, if I'm talking about thinking as in the act of thinking, that mental exercise that we do when we are considering something, then I can use the present progressive tense. For example, I'm thinking about you, or I don't know where I want to eat dinner. I'm thinking about it. That's because I am actively considering something in my mind. In that free guide that you can find on my website, there is a list of some very common stative verbs, as well as a few very common stative verbs that can also be active verbs sometimes. In today's exercises, you're going to be looking at these 3 uses of the present progressive tense, and you're also going to be learning about those stative and active verbs. Be sure that you have joined my group on Telegram so you can ask any questions that you have about the exercises. I'll see you tomorrow.